welcome to Mrs Patnell's maths lessons this week. We are looking at capacity and measurement this week over the next 4 lessons. So something quite different and quite practical. If you want to join in, then you're going to need lots of different things. So you might want to watch the video through and then have a go at doing your own exploration after the video. So yeah, it's probably a good idea to watch first and then have a go yourself. If you're in my class, I have given you a heads up as to what you could bring along with you to the lesson, so you might want to do it as I'm doing it. So I've got quite a bit here on my table today. It's quite a busy table. We are going to be looking at the capacity, meaning how much volume something can hold. So we're going to be looking in particular at kettles or teapots maybe, and also different containers and jugs. So lots of different containers for my cupboard: jugs, teapots and bottles and various other plastic containers. And we're looking to see which one can hold the most volume. In this instance, we're going to be trying it with water. So which one can hold the most water? Okay, and that's how we can see which one is the biggest of those teapots or jugs or bottles, because we're going to measure with water. In order to make it a fair test, we're going to measure every one with 1 cup, and it's always going to be the same cup. If I was to measure this teapot with this cup, so with lots of different cups of this water poured in, and then I was to use a massive mug to try and see how much this teapot held, would it be fair? I could say, well, this one only held 1 cup and this one held 3. But because there'd be different sized cups that I'd be measuring the water in, it wouldn't be fair. So this is going to be a very fair test today, and that we're always going to use the same teacup to do our cup measurements, okay? So, yes, we are talking non-standard units of measurement, so we're talking about cups here when we measure today, okay? We are going to start our lesson off though with number of the day. So if you have your number of the day sheet, mine just got wet, we just had a sudden crazy shower. So if you've got your number of the day sheet here, then, or your piece of paper that you're using at home, I'm going to set you the number 9 or the number 19. It's up to you today which one you want to go for. So do that, pop it onto tapestry if you're in my class, show it to an adult at home if you are not. And we're going to do a spot of counting today as well. We're going to count first of all back from 20 to 0, because this helps with our taking away, our subtracting. So let's make a start on that. Now I've got lots of stuff in the way here, but we're only going to be using the top part of my 100 square today. But it might help if you've got your own here with you. There's the raindrops coming off the bushes. It might help if you've got your own 100 square with you, because you might be able to see yours a bit better than mine on the screen today. So we're going to start at 20 and we're going to end at what would be here, which would be 0. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Now I think we're going to do a little bit of counting in twos. We haven't counted for twos for a few days. So we're going to count in twos up to 30. Now remember, when we're counting in twos starting from 2, will we be counting all the odd numbers or the even numbers? We're starting at 2. Is 2 an odd number or an even number? Have my fingers both got a partner? Yes, so it makes it an even number. So because it goes odd, even, odd, even, odd, even on your 100 square, if we're jumping over one number in the middle each time, we're always jumping over the odd numbers. So every number we count will be an even number, one that can be halved perfectly or always has a partner if you're looking at pieces of numerical. So we're going to do that up to 30. So we're adding on 2 each time. So it's 2 jumps, but we'll just show it as jumping over one number and landing on the next one. Sorry, this way like that. Okay, are you ready? Starting from 2, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30. Now I asked you to look at that a few weeks ago and colour in all the ones that you count when you count in twos, starting from 2. And I think you noticed it was all of the ones that end in a 2, all of the ones that end in a 4, all of the ones that end in a 6, all that end in an 8 and all that end in a 0. Now any number, however big that number is, even if you're talking thousands or millions, if it ends in a 2, a 4, a 6, an 8 or a 0, then it will be an even number and will be able to be halved no matter how big the number is. So that's quite handy to know, isn't it? Right, okay, we're going to have a little sing today. I'm going to bring this round actually because it's all set up here. I don't want to turn my board. I have got days of the week lurking back here. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see them all from there. I hope so, but I think you know them quite well by now. And I think most of you have your own list of them at home. So follow your own list if you've got it handy. So we're going to do it to the tune of the Addams Family. And we're going to start with our Monday. Are you ready? There's Monday and there's Tuesday. There's Wednesday and there's Thursday. There's Friday and there's Saturday. And then there's Sunday. Days of the week. Clap, clap. Days of the week. Clap, clap. Okay, so if today was Monday, what would tomorrow be? Tomorrow is the day that hasn't come yet. It's going to be the next day. So if today is Monday, it would be jumping on Tuesday. If today was Saturday, what would tomorrow be? Jumping on one day for tomorrow, it would be Sunday. If today was Wednesday, what day would it have been yesterday? What day would it have been yesterday? So it's in the past, it's already happened. I'm going backwards with yesterday. Yesterday would have been Tuesday. Fabulous. Okay, so we're going to move on now and we're going to look at our capacity. So I'm going to work first of all, and I need a little bit of housekeeping here and a bit of a tidy up. So I'm going to move some of these things over here. Oh, Teddy, do come and join us. You can stand at the water tray here. There you go, Ted. Let's push you in there. Right, so I am going to move my teapots over as well because I don't want those just yet. And my bottles. Here we are. Now you might need this at some point today as well if you're following my lesson and doing it as well. I've made myself a funnel out of the top of a squash bottle. So I couldn't find a proper funnel in my cupboard, one of those posh ones you might use for cooking or science. So I've made my own one out of the top of a squash bottle. So we are going to be looking at my jugs first of all. And I've got two sizes here. This is not quite so much a jug, it's more of a glass, but it looks quite similar to a jug, and this is what I could find in my cupboard today, okay? So these are my two different jugs here, all right? So have a good look at those two. Think about what they look like next to one another if I put them like that. Okay, you might be looking at the height, how tall they are. You might be looking at how wide they are. Look at the top there, see how wide they are across. Do they look quite wide? How tall are they? Okay. Now I want to ask which one is going to hold the most water. I want you to predict first of all. Predict, sort of like estimate. I want you to guess which one you think will hold the most water. A bit easy here, you've only got a choice of two, so it's not quite as tricky as estimating at this point. You've just got to say which one you think would hold the most water, and then we're going to check it out. So call out to the screen which one you think holds the most. Okay, now we're going to check which one holds the most by measuring water into each one using my teacup, okay? You can use any cup you want as long as you keep it the same cup for both of your jugs, okay? It must be the same to make it fair. So I'm going to start by popping my jug over my water here. I've got a nice big tray of water here, and I'm going to fill my cup up, and it must be full up to the top. I can't have it half full and chuck it in and then the next one be full up. They must always be full to the top to say it truly was a whole cup that's gone in, okay? So it must be all the way to the top. So I'm going to fill that to the top, and I'm going to say 1 cup has gone in there. You can count with me. 2, 3, oh, we're getting there. 4, 5, 6. I've got to fill it to the top. I can't just stop because I think, oh, it's getting a bit close. 6, 7. Oh, I think we can probably, can we fit another one in there? It might be 7.5. Let's just see. Oh no, we got 8 in there. So 8 cups of water fill this jug. Okay, now I'm going to put that back in because we're going to record it on a post-it note, so we're not going to forget that this jug had 8 cups of water. So let's write that on one of my post-it notes. And here we go. You could just use cards if you want to, if you can't find post-it notes at home. I'm going to put a number 8 on there. My post-it note's got a bit wet in the rain, so it's not showing up that well. Let's go for the one underneath, it might show up a bit better. So I've got 8 cups of water filled this jug here. So let's stick that onto my jug. So 8 filled up that one. Now, let's see how many cups fill up this jug. Now this jug was taller. If I put them next to each other, look, can you see it's about that much taller? So this jug is taller. But does that mean it's going to hold more? Because you've also got to consider how wide they are. That's quite wide across the top. This one, not so much. So I wonder what that will mean. Let's have a look. Got my same cup. Make sure it's the same one. Fill it right up to the top with water. Count with me. 1. Make sure you don't spill it somewhere else because it's not really going in the jug then, is it? And 2. She says spilling a little bit. And 3. I've got to be careful with this one. It's not got such a wide top on it. Let's see if we can get a 4th one in there. Yes, we can. We have got 4 cups worth of water in this jug. I'm going to just tip that out so that we can record it on a post-it note. So, let's write a nice 4 on my post-it note. My pen's not going to work now. Let's see if I can get my other pen to join me. So 4. Oh, that's better. So 4 cups went into this jug. Let's stick that on the side of this jug. There we are. Are you going to stick? Yes. So if I bring these over to the camera, here are our 2 jugs. This jug holds 8 cups of water. This jug holds 4 cups of water. So which is the largest jug? Which jug holds the most? So that question means the same thing. Which one holds the most will mean which one is the largest jug because it holds the most water. Is it the one that holds 4 or the one that holds 8? Can you call out to the camera which one is the largest jug, which one holds the most? And can you tell me how you know this? How do you know? So, this jug here is the largest, it holds the most, and that's because we know that 8 is a bigger number than 4. So we know that this holds more cups of water, it holds a larger amount of stuff, it has a bigger capacity, a bigger volume, and is the biggest jug because 8 is a bigger number than 4. Excellent. Right, let's try that same exercise one more time with our teapots. So I'm going to pop my jugs over there, and I'm going to use this teapot here and this teapot here. So I'm going to show them up to the camera, have a look at them. Okay, that's my teapots. Think about how wide they are, how much space they're filling up if they were sat on a counter, how tall they are. So the white one looks quite a bit taller than the black one, okay? So that might be important. But look at how wide the belly of the teapot is. That one comes out quite a bit, this one's quite straight. Which one do you think is going to hold the largest amount of water? Which one is the largest teapot? Can hold the biggest capacity or volume of water? Right, so hopefully you've predicted now, and we're going to have a go to see which one actually does hold the most. So I'm going to have to whiz my teapot lid off. I'm going to use my same cup here. Oh look, Teddy's astonished. I think he predicted the wrong jug and he's fallen over. He's astonished. There he is, back again. So, here's my teapot, here's my cup. I'm going to fill that cup up to the top. Remember, don't have it half full because it won't be a fair test then. I've got to be very careful pouring this in. Do you know, I think I might use my funnel. I might use my funnel here. Okay, so, hopefully you can see that. So I've got 1 cup. I'm pouring that in. That's 1. Count with me. Oops. 3. Still going. Make sure the water's up to the top. 4. And that has reached the top now. That's at the very top of my teapot now. Okay, you can't really see it because water is obviously translucent. You can see through it. But it's absolutely to the top. And that was 4 cups of water. Okay? Well, that was the same as the jug, so I'm going to borrow that post-it note. I'm going to tip that water out because we're going to record it on here now, so we don't need to leave it into the teapot. So 4 in that teapot. Let's give you back your lid. Right, let's try the metal one now. Oh, I'm going to take out my tea strainer bit there. I won't need that. That's going to make my job a little bit more difficult. Right, okay, let's have a go at filling up this one. So, teapot, same teacup. Remember to make it a fair test. And it must be full to the top when I pour. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh, right to the top. 5. 5 cups fit into this teapot. Now, I found that a particularly tricky one to predict when I had them next to each other. I wasn't very sure. I knew that this one looked a bit fatter around the edges, but it was much shorter than the other one, so it was difficult to predict which one would have the most. So that had 5. Let's give that its label of 5 there. I have to write a new one for that because we've not had a 5 yet before. So 5 went into that teapot. Now, if I bring them over to the screen, are you going to stay on there? Maybe I'll have to hold that there, I think. It's a bit soggy. So, my teapots, here they are. Whoops. This one held 5 cups of water, and this one held 4 cups of water. Which one is the largest teapot? Which one can hold the most volume of water? Which one has the biggest capacity? Can hold the most. Okay, and then I want you to tell me when you've said your answer how you know that's the one that holds the most. How you know it's the largest teapot. Okay, so this one that held 5 cups is the largest teapot. It has the biggest capacity. It can hold the most volume of water because and we know this because 5 is a bigger number than 4. So this, out of the 2, even though it's tricky to tell by looking at them, when we measure using cups, we realise that this one is the largest teapot. Now I'm going to put that one down because it's cast iron and weighs a ton. So that has really given me some exercise on my arm there, actually. Okay, let's have a little tidy up around here now as we move on to what we're going to do next. So, we've had a nice conversation there about capacity and which one can hold the largest amount. We've used some good words like volume, capacity, which one holds the most, which one is the largest. So some good language there for you to use afterwards when you're doing your own session with the water. So what I want to just show you, before I set you a task as well at the end, are 3 different containers here. So here's 1, 2 and 3 containers there. I'm just going to shift my water over a little bit so I've got room for you to see them. Now it's very important to bring them up against one another like this. I think you can see them okay. Let me just tilt my camera there. There they are, all 3 of them. So it's important to see them next to one another, so I might actually bring them over to the camera on my tray here. So these are my 3 containers, okay? Okay, so here are my 3 containers. Put them all on the camera there. And I've already filled them with water, so I know myself which one holds which amount of cups, okay? But I want you to look at them now. Look at the heights of them, how tall they are, okay? Think about how wide they are. Remember that last teapot was quite wide, like it had a big belly on it, so it ended up holding more. So don't just think about height, think about how wide each of these containers are, okay? And over here on my green tray, I've got 4 for 4 cups, 6 for 6 cups, and 7 for 7 cups. I want you to decide which one belongs to which bottle. Okay, so which one of these do you think holds 4 cups? Which one do you think holds 6 cups out of these 3? And which one do you think holds 7 cups? Now you can pause the video and you can talk to an adult and tell them which one you think holds which amounts, okay, in order to remember what you said. Alright, and then we're going to try them out. So have a little think about it first. Which one is going to hold the most, have the biggest capacity, be the largest container that holds the 7 cups? Which one do you think that will be? Which one do you think is like the medium-sized one, medium in size, and can hold 6 cups? And which one do you think is the smallest container, has the smallest capacity, can hold the least volume, and can only hold 4 cups? Which one do you think that might be? Okay, we are going to test now to see if your predictions were correct. Okay, so we're going to find out, first of all, how many cups this one had. Now, this way I've done it slightly different, in that the water is already in the container, and I am just going to pour it back into the cups and tip it into my tray, and then count how many I have to tip into the tray, because that would have been how many the bottle was holding. Now remember, same cup for all 3 to make it a fair test, and tip the water up to the very top of the teacup in order to class it as 1 cup. Okay, so I have got to try not to spill any, otherwise it wouldn't be so fair. So take your time tipping it in. So that's 1 up to the top. And 2 cups up to the top. It's down to the top of the black label now. And 3 cups in. Now it's down to here now. Do we think this could be the one that has 4 cups in with still this much to go? Probably not. So I wonder which one it could be. Would it be 6 or 7? So that was 3 cups before. This is now 4 cups gone in. We're still only about halfway-ish. So if we're just under halfway, which one do you think it might be? 6 or 7? We've just tipped 4 in. Have a think while I'm pouring. That is 5 cups. And 6 cups. And 7 cups. So 7 cups in this bottle here, okay? Now it wasn't the absolute tallest, this one was taller, and it certainly didn't look like the widest either, did it? So quite maybe one that surprised you there. So 7 cups on my orange bottle there, okay? Now I'm going to try my tub here. This is going to be a little harder to pour because it doesn't have a nice top on it like a bottle. But I'm going to pour these back in to the cup, hopefully without dropping any. I'm going to give it a squeeze to make it a bit more like a... Where are you going to go in? So, 1 cup. 2 cups, I'm pouring out to the top. 3 cups. Now it's about here on the tub. I'd say about halfway. Half has gone and half is still in there. We've done 3 cups. Do we think it's going to be the 4 cup container or the 6 cup container if we're about halfway with 3 cups? Yes, well, we will see. So this will be cup number 4. Can't be 4 then. So 5 and 6. This was our 6th cup container. Let's give it back its lid and give it the number 6 on there. So that was the one that held 6. Right, last one. We guess this one must be the one that has 4. Let me unscrew its lid. Let's pop that over here. Right, this should be 4. Let's find out. Count with me. This is nice and easy to pour. Make sure I don't lose any. Up to the top. 1. 2. Gets wider at the bottom, so this one's a little bit more confusing to judge. Skinny at the top, but much wider at the bottom. So that was 2. 3. And to the top. 4 cups in my washing up bottle. Let's give it back its lid. 4 cups, and there's a 4 there. Okay, now this one was a little bit deceitful in that it looked taller than the orange juice bottle, but then that was just the squirty top lid on there, so that wasn't actually where I was pouring water into that top bit. So that's something worth looking at when you have your own bottles at home. Okay, so these are my 3 containers. We have measured them using the non-standard units of cups. We've got 7 cups here, 6 cups and 4 cups. We've got to put them in order, starting at this end with the one that holds the least, has the smallest capacity, is the smallest container. Which one would be over this side with the smallest amount? That would be, and hopefully you agree with me, this one, because it has 4 cups in it. Now, which one would be the middle sized one that holds the middle number of cups, the middle capacity? That would be number 6. So we're going to move these 2 around, push him in there, and then that means we've got 7 on the end as holding the most. Are we happy with this? How do we know that this one holds the biggest capacity, is the biggest bottle, or has the biggest capacity? How do we know this? Because 7 is a bigger number than 6 and 4. How do we know that this one here, this one that holds 6 cups, should be in the middle? It has the medium capacity. This is quite a sentence you'd have to think of to say here, so you might want to pause the video. But I would say I know this has the medium, the middle capacity, because 6 is a bigger number than 4, but a smaller number than 7. That's quite a sentence, isn't it? So if you said that, pat yourselves on the back, okay? Now, I know that this one holds the least capacity, has the smallest capacity, because 4 is smaller than 6 and 7, okay? So lots of good language like that will be fantastic when you have a go at doing this yourself in a moment, okay? Use your bottles. You can get your adult to get bottles for you if you like, and they can pick ones that they think might need a little bit of looking at to really predict which ones might hold the most, okay? So, your stretch task that I want you to have a go at home is this. I want you to create a little tea party. I want you to have at least 3 teddies at this tea party, okay, or dollies, it's entirely up to you. And I want you to have 3 cups. And they can be any cups, they don't have to be the same. Okay, so 3 cups for those teddies. They can have saucers too if they're feeling particularly posh. And I want you to have a little teapot or a jug or something that you can really carefully pour your water out of. It might be best to do it out the garden, see how you feel. With your kettle or your teapot, I want you to pour into those 3 cups different amounts, okay? Now, I'm not going to give you a measurement of amounts. I'm going to give you this language. So listen to this language. I want Teddy 1, who isn't very thirsty at all, I want you to pour into his cup that would fit the description of nearly empty, okay? Nearly empty. I think that's probably a good way to put it. And then for the Teddy number 2, he's kind of thirsty, he's a bit thirsty, he's been for a walk. I want Teddy number 2 for you to pour into his cup that would fit the description half full. You could also say half empty, okay? It depends what kind of person you are. Will you say it's a half empty cup or half full? It would still look the same for both of those descriptions. So Teddy number 2 has to have a cup of tea that looks half full or half empty. Teddy number 3 has been on a run. He is absolutely thirsty, so he wants a cup that is showing a full cup. Full up. Full cup. Okay? And then you can ask an adult to help you write 3 little signs out. One that says nearly empty. Okay? You could probably put almost empty, that would work as well. One that says half full or half empty, because they mean the same thing. And one that says full. And I want you to put those signs by the right teddies to match the description of the tea you've given them in their cups. Does that make sense? Okay, so 3 teddies, 1 isn't thirsty, 1's quite thirsty, and 1's really thirsty. So they want nearly empty, half full, and full. And you've got to put the right description on your cards next to the right teddy. If you're in my class, pop the pictures on tapestry. I'll look forward to seeing them. If you're at home, then get your adult to give you a pat on the back when you get it right. And I will see you again tomorrow for some more capacity. Bye bye.